I'm Froggy, and here is a My Froggy Stuff mashup. We have had a lot of requests for the Sisters Dollhouse, so here it is. From the bedroom to the kitchen, we've got you covered. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Sophie and Chloe's room has gotten a little cramped, so we are going to make it bigger using a large cardboard trifold, paper, toothpicks, some of our previous box rooms, and glue. I start by cutting off the sides of the trifold. Cover the center of the trifold with paper for the floor. Take the leftover sides and cut them. Cut out a door. Trim down the cutout from the door. Cover everything with paper. Glue toothpicks into the cutout for the door. Push the other end of the toothpick into the frame of the door. Then glue the cardboard wall onto one side of the floor, pushing the other end of the toothpick into the floor to separate the space and make 2 rooms. I make another long piece of covered cardboard and glue it down the center to create 3 rooms. We have 2 large spaces on the sides of this wall and then another one on the end. The room on the end is long and narrow, so we can use this space as a hallway, add our doll wardrobe to make it a closet, or a tub and our moss mat for a bathroom. Now we're going to use this large space to set up Sophie and Chloe's room. I bring over the furniture from their old room, like their desk and stool, the bed from our doll tumbler room, the bed from our doll galaxy room. I repaint the dresser that we made in a previous video to match the room. Add art, like cutouts from magazines, the marquee stars from our doll galaxy room. We even made a large letter D. I used watercolors to paint a unicorn to go above Chloe's bed. Add a few photos, a dreamcatcher keychain from one of our Fabsome besties. I glue a few rose buttons to the wall to hang jewelry on. And actually, I would like to see the whole unicorn, so I am going to replace this with a new painting. I place a few items on the desk, and of course, Chloe is going to need a model horse. What do we have here? Perfect. Now let's do some work on Sophie's side of the room. I add a few shopping bags, glue some covered cardboard to the walls. I glue an artificial plant into a bead, then glue it to the shelf and the wall to support the shelf. For the top shelf, I use one of our paperboard books. Now I can add a jewelry box, some movies from our toy store, a few books, and a camera. I move the stars to be above the dresser so I can put the constellation above the bed. Add some Christmas lights, place makeup on the dresser, and Sophie is a total fangirl, so she might have a spaceship on display and a Stitch Tsum Tsum. Aw, it's too cute! Too cute! We add a trash can, a clapboard because Sophie hopes to make movies, and our guitar from a previous video. Even though we all know Sophie is musically challenged. Add the ottoman poof. And I'm starting to miss the window that used to be right here. So I'm going to carefully cut it from the old room and tape it onto the side, which allows me to extend the space even more, completing Sophie and Chloe's bedroom. And be sure to check back for part 2 when we decorate the room on the other side of the wall. And you're done. Happy crafting! Today, we are adding on to Sophie and Chloe's house. On the other side of the wall, I am going to make them a living room, so they have a comfy place to relax without having to sit on the floor. And I am going to use our palettes from a previous video to make the frame for the sofa. Lay them against the wall and on the floor to make the sofa any shape you like. Now let's make some cushions. Use chalk to trace around the palette, cut it out, leaving room for a seam allowance. Cut 2, lay them good side to good side, sew on the line drawn, leaving an opening so it can be turned. Add fluff, use a needle and thread to sew the opening closed. To make a large pillow, continue making pillows in different shapes and sizes to cover the palettes. I want the pillows to lay just a little flatter and closer together. So I am going to glue the palettes together, and remember to always have adult supervision when working with hot objects. Then glue the cushions on top, making 3 separate pieces that can come together to form a sectional, 2 chairs, a love seat, or a chaise lounge. And to give it a little extra height, I glue beads to the bottom. I use a post-it as a pattern to make throw pillows. Make a larger unstuffed pillow for a rug. We place one of our ottoman poofs on top so the dolls have somewhere to rest their feet or their coffee cup. We use the coffee table from our doll retro chairs video as a side table to hold the lamp from our cozy living room. And I'm really loving the way my nail polish looks in this room, so I use it to repaint the bottom of the lamp. Glue thin strips of covered cardboard to the walls, paint more beads and add artificial plants, then glue them to the shelves. Cut pictures out of magazines and catalogs, glue them over a cut piece of paperboard, wrapping the paper over the edge. To make artwork for the walls, I add the pet bed from a previous video, a few magazines, to make a fancy little living room for our dollhouse. Now, I'm not really seeing a lot of Sophie in this room. It's pretty much Chloe all the way. I feel like there should be a spaceship in here somewhere. But as long as there's a couch, I'm pretty sure Sophie will be just fine. And we will continue to build Sophie and Chloe's entire house, so stay tuned for the next room. And you're done. Happy crafting! The next addition to Sophie and Chloe's house is going to be a large closet. We removed the window from over here and we're going to make it seem like the closet is that way. I am using another trifold, cut off the side panels, cover the floor with scrapbook paper, cut the end off of one of the side panels, cover both pieces with paper. For the large wall, I chose to cover one side white and the other in a light blue. Glue the large wall to the center of the floor, glue the shorter wall onto the side to make a short wall on the other side. We take our doll wardrobe from a previous video and glue it to the back wall. Take the other panel of cardboard, cut it into strips to plan a design to expand the storage space. Cover with paper. Begin gluing them into place. I like to use a ruler to draw lines so I know where to glue the boards. This helps to keep the shelves straight. I add another piece of covered cardboard to the end, add another one down the center, cut smaller pieces to go in between to make cube shelves. On the other side, I glue in shelves going straight across. Measure and cut wooden dowels or bamboo skewers, paint them, glue them in place, unfold a paper clip to make a triangle, then lift up this curl and straighten it, bend the side up, and this is a lot easier to do with needle nose pliers. Curl over the end to make hangers. Then place the hangers on the poles. On this wall over here, I was kind of messy with the glue. So I take some foil scrapbook paper, cut a strip, and glue it to the wall. Place sticker gems around it to make a full-length mirror. Begin filling the closet with all of the doll clothes, placing some on the hangers, and for the ones that won't fit on a hanger, we can fold it and place it on a shelf. We place shoes on the cube shelves and jewelry in the drawers to make a closet we hope is large enough for two sisters to share. And I think eventually we'll add some seating in here, but we'll save that for next time. And you're done.
Happy crafting!
Going to add on to the Sisters Dollhouse. This is Sophie and Chloe's old kitchen, and we want something a little more open. And we're going to build it on the back of their closet, where we have a large light blue wall. And we're going to recycle a few items from this kitchen. I wonder how much of this kitchen can I actually repurpose. Let's start by taking out the sink, remove the back of the stove, take out the counter, remove the side windows, and cut it down the middle. I paint the parts that I am going to reuse. I cover the doors with white paper, then I begin putting it back together. I've run into a little bit of a problem. The white is making it very obvious that my lines are not completely straight. And it's not looking very neat, so it's time to come up with Plan B. And that's a chance that you take with crafting. Sometimes it's not going to work out the way you plan, and you may have to improvise. Now, Plan B is going to be a lot simpler. We're going to just make faux cabinets in the front. I can salvage the stove and the refrigerator and reuse the cabinet doors. So I cut a piece of cardboard that can go all the way across, cover it with paper, and glue it onto the front. Resize and cut the cabinet doors. Then I glue them onto the front to make the front of the cabinets. Cut a long piece of cardboard for the countertop, cut an opening for the sink, cover it with paper. Before gluing the counter on, I place the cabinets into the room and use scrapbook paper to make a backsplash. Now I'm going to glue the cabinets into place, glue on the counter, add the back of the stove. I want a large window here. However, since the closet is on the other side, I cut a picture out of a magazine, use white paper for trim, and since it's just paper, I can have a little fun with the design. Then glue it in place over the sink. At the sink, I repaint the hood from the other kitchen. It was copper, now we're making it silver, and glue it above the stove. Since I got rid of all of the working cabinets, I am going to add some open shelves by covering pieces of cardboard with scrapbook paper and gluing them onto the wall. Paint wooden beads with nail polish. Finally cut a piece of cardstock, leaving it connected at the bottom. Roll it so it can fit inside the bead. Glue the bead to the shelf and the wall to give it support. Now we can display our cups and plates on the shelves. I found these tiny glass jars at the dollar store. They contained glitter for nail art. I filled them with seasonings and glued them to the shelves for seasonings. And you could always substitute real spices for cut paper and sand. I follow our doll shoebox video to make a basket to hold our doll silverware. And I'm just gonna place that on the shelf. Add some cooking utensils, a toaster, and paper towels from previous videos. Use buttons and sticker gems for refrigerator magnets. We use our beach house table and chairs for a small eating area. I'll have to add 2 more chairs later. A while back, I found these mini frames at the craft store. I attached them to the wall and glue little things inside, glue seashells or charms inside, glue beads onto the cabinets for knobs, and our printable light switches and outlets to the walls. We even added a picture of the sisters onto the fridge. For a little more counter space, we can bring over the island from a previous video to complete our doll kitchen renovation. I love how we recycled a recycled craft, and we still have a refrigerator that can open and close, as well as a stove. And now the dolls can go from the living room to the kitchen. However, I think I want to change the couch. Yeah, I do. This is the couch from our Sofa 2 video, and now we have space to add something here later. We'll just use a plant for right now. The Sisters Dollhouse is a work in progress, so check back to see what's next. And you're done.
Happy crafting!
It's like a dream. It's like a dream when we both get together and free. Yeah, my mind is screaming now whenever we dream. Here is the thing I knew right from the start. Yeah, you are the best part of my red heart. You are the best part.
I am going to add on to the Sisters Dollhouse using cardboard, scrapbook paper, artificial plants, a recycled paperboard box, yarn, string or twine, toothpicks, beads, paint, and glue. We are also going to need a black phone case from the dollar store and sticky back Velcro so we can finally hang a TV for Sophie. We are adding onto the living room and creating another wall so the dolls can have an entertainment area. On the cardboard, I mark and measure the length of the wall, cut on the line drawn, and remember to always have adult supervision when working with sharp objects. On the wall, I draw and cut out 2 large windows. Cover the walls with scrapbook paper. I covered them with a brick print and then trimmed in white. Take another piece of cardboard, cover half with paper for the inside of the house and the other half for outside. On the side of the wall that faces the inside of the house, I decide where I want the TV to go. Apply the sticky Velcro to the back of the phone case, then stick the phone case to the wall. Carefully remove the phone case, separating the Velcro, then use a stapler to secure the Velcro. Make a hole through the cardboard and use a brad to secure it to the wall. And my hope is that this will give it a little more support so that every time we remove the phone, we don't rip the paper. Since on the other side we can now see the ends of the brads, I cut a piece of cardboard and fold over the sides, cover with paper, glue it on top to cover the brads, and add a little architecture. Once dry, I glue the wall in place, add a few artificial plants, and now let's go inside. On the inside of the house, this is the wall that faces the couch. And this floor space is going to extend the size of our living room, so we have space to put something under the TV. I am going to use our doll pallet furniture from a previous video. I glue 2 small pallets together, add another popsicle stick to the bottom pallet so that anything we place on the bottom shelf doesn't fall through. Add wooden beads to give it a little height, and we place our DVD player from a previous video on top. Add a few books, paint beads with nail polish, glue an artificial plant inside, cut toothpicks, glue 3 together to make a triangle, glue 3 more at the corners and have them meet at the top, paint it gold to make a decorative pyramid, and I place a small plant inside. Now let's add some shelves on the wall. Cut leftover cardboard, cover with paper, cut pieces of yarn or twine in equal lengths. Take one of the pieces, tie a knot at the end to make a loop. Repeat to make more. Place one of the loops over the end of the cardboard, glue the knot in the center underneath, Repeat on the other side and allow it to dry. Glue the cardboard and the top of the yarn to the wall to make hanging shelves. Add a few plants, cut paperboard, cover it with magazine cutouts to make artwork for the walls. Place the cell phone in the holder so the dolls can sit back and enjoy the TV. And if I do not wish to use my cell phone, then glue magazine cutouts onto paperboard for the screen. Make different screens so the dolls can watch different shows. And when they are finished watching TV, they can walk outside and enjoy the great outdoors. Let's see how it looks combined with the sisters' living room. Well, for starters, the floor doesn't match. And that's because when I went to the craft store, they told me that they discontinued this pattern. So now I have to pick a new flooring for parts of the house. And I have to recover this floor to match this one. So I take everything out of the room and start the remodel. If only changing floors in a real house was this easy. I bring all of the furniture back in and try to use a rug to cover up the fact that I didn't do such a good job in lining up the paper. So the room is definitely coming along. It's a really good size ratio for the doll to the house, but we're still gonna make a few changes. Like the couch, yeah, we're gonna be on couch number 3. I really do want a sectional, so we're gonna try to remake that. And the carpet? The rug? Yeah, that's no longer working for me. Maybe we can go with something furry. I think that's too dark. I just cut a rectangle of this fuzzy fabric from Michaels to use as a rug. Put our little ottoman poof in the middle and this open area in the back. We can pretend like that is a large window looking outside. I'm going to make a quick background by gluing together 2 covered pieces of cardboard. I cover a thin strip of cardboard with brick paper, bend the ends, glue it to the wall and the ground, add a few plants to make a garden window outside the living room. The Sisters Dollhouse is a work in progress, but for now, we are happy to have our new TV area. And you're done.
Happy crafting!
It's like a dream. It's like a dream when we both get together and dream. Yeah, my mind is screaming now and never dream. Here is
Thank you for joining us for this My Froggy Stuff mashup. Let us know what mashups you would like to see in the comments down below. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Instagram at My Froggy Stuff and the Frog Vlog. And we will see you next time. Bye!